Hello everybody, welcome to Planet Coaster 2 and welcome to the Parades Pack. In today's video we are going to be checking out everything that's not scenery in the new Parades Pack DLC. If you want to see all the scenery, I did a video where I went through all the pieces, like as you can see here, and I will leave a link to that in the description. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to do another video where we just kind of look at everything else that's in the pack, basically, all the features, coasters, as well as a couple of bits from Update 10. And on that note, actually, the first thing I wanted to try out, where are they going to be? Oh, they're not scenery items. Maybe they're over here. Okay, yeah, here we go. So the first thing I wanted to test out really was Vista points. So you can set a focus and then you can choose the reaction that you want. Oh, interesting. So you don't even need to set a focus. They'll just point at nothing. This person's taking a selfie. Okay, that's fun. And then just quickly, if we set this to on trigger only, we put down one of the new event points here. Edit trigger sequence. Okay, so it's got its own trigger sequence, but you could add a sequencer to this trigger sequence if you want to just trigger a separate trigger. There we go. They're all pointing. And then they clap. Okay, that's kind of fun. Is someone else going to come up and press it now? Here we go. So they press the button on the top. There's quite a long delay between them pressing the button and the thing happening. Okay, that's interesting. I'm curious to see what happens if I use the advanced move. Okay. Just see what happens if I use the advanced move here to hide this underground. Can they still interact with it? They can. Okay, that is great to see. They just interact with it as though it's still at path level. It's slightly creepy how the animations are all completely synced like that, but it's nice to see them interacting with it regardless. That's great to see. Okay, so let's just delete that. Presumably this works the same. Okay, so these appear to work just the same whether they're hidden from view or not. So that's great to see. Okay, that's fun. That's nice. Another thing I wanted to just double check was if these new wand and flag pieces were available in the souvenir set. It doesn't look like they are, which is a little bit of a shame, but, you know, I guess that's okay. We could just place down one of these. I cannot believe that you have to go through, like, these menus to do this. This is insane.
3 days later.
There are hoodies in here. I didn't know that shops could sell hoodies. I swear the proper gift shops with the shelves can't sell hoodies. Can they? There certainly isn't a hoodie scenery piece. Okay, there we go. So now it's just selling the new flags and wands, so we can just have a little look at how those look. This is kind of fun. I wonder if they only get the little ones out when it's dark, or if just it happens that nobody's buying one. Let's try changing the time to like 6 PM or something. This is kind of fun, this like glowing ring. That's cute. Yeah, it seems like nobody's buying light ones for whatever reason. I guess I could turn off the flags as well, but whatever, we'll just leave that. While we're here, actually, let's just have a quick look at these new bunting pieces, because I didn't place these down yet. Okay, yeah, I mean, these are cool. There's a curved one to go kind of around a round building. We've got the same thing with normal flags, and then there are these kind of flags with little stars on as well. And then it looks like they've all got the same kind of, they've got these rounded ones as well, and there's a rounded one with a larger radius as well. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so the main event, obviously, is the new parade system. Oh, hello. Parades are coordinated processions of floats designed to wow your guests. Okay, this is quite cool. Is this like a mandatory tutorial? Parade always starts at the station from where you can build track along to an end station or circle back around and finish where you started. Oh, interesting, so it doesn't have to end at the same place it starts. Number of trains floats you can add is determined by the length of the station. Longer stations or stations with track behind can hold more floats. Staff gates can be placed on either side of the start station and needs to be accessible in case your parade breaks down. Parade tracks can have paths on both sides, allowing your guests to walk right up to the action. Be sure to add lots of scenery or even perform platforms to your floats. Okay. Cool, this is nice. I feel like the game probably needs more of these mandatory tutorials first time you click on a tool. Okay, so yeah. So the track doubles as a walkable path. Okay, so this track is basically just placing down like pathing. Just for the sake of doing a demonstration here, we'll just build it like this. So then here we can add... So yeah, these are our rows of performers. And then we can edit those by clicking on Okay, yeah, so we've got a train at the front. Then let's delete those, and then we can alternate them like this. Okay. So in fact, let's delete everything. Start with a performer group, and then have a train, and then in this front group here, and then in the middle spot we'll put Gulpy. Yeah, there we go. And then in the third spot we'll put Queen Splash. And then on the train 1, okay, and then so by clicking on the train we can then decide what kind of train it is, and then we can customize what's appearing on the performer walking points, so then we can put staff members in like this. Okay, there we go. Nice. What's happened to Gulpy? Okay, they're only visible when you're in the editing mode. That's interesting. But if we click test, then it all kicks off. That's fun. I don't know, why is there such a big gap between the trains? Stop the test. Oh, the interval is here. Okay. We basically don't want any interval, right? If I set it to 0, they all just leave together at the same time. Kind of. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's much more like what I wanted. This gap is still quite large, but I guess it's okay. It gives you space to make the float a bit larger if you want to. But I would prefer it if they maintained this gap here. Okay, so it's just when you're in this trains tab here that everything looks blank, and then when you come across to the parade performers tab, you can see all of this stuff. And then we've got add performer platform. And we can add this, and we can put a Gulpy on here as well. Scheduler, okay. So then the scheduler lets you decide how many, okay, so yeah. That's right, they did talk about this. You can either just set it to run a certain amount of times per day and it will automatically kind of schedule it for you, or you can come in here and add specific time slots. Presumably as many as you want. If you wanted it to run like literally every 10 minutes, you could do that. Okay, and then yeah, you can just click this button here and the parade will start whenever you want it to. Intrigued by this little box on the platform here in place of what would normally be the kind of operator booth. I kind of wish we had that as a scenery piece. It would be really useful for, you know, backstaging and that sort of thing. Anyway, parade start sound effect. That's right, so you can have a sound effect that triggers when the parade starts, and I believe that they added in... yeah, they've got these announcements. Yeah, so you could have, like, if you wanted, you could have one of those play when the parade actually starts. And then they've got this speaker connection system, connect speakers to make them play the same music as the parade passes by. I'm not exactly sure how this works. Each particular train can have its own music if you come in here. So now we can't hear it, but... yeah, so now the parade vehicle itself is the source of the music. So I'm not exactly sure how this works. Connect speakers to make them play the same music as the parade passes by. I guess what this does actually is that if I put a speaker here... yeah, so the music is now also coming out of that speaker, I see. That's cool. Okay, cool. Okay, and then the rest of it I think is just normal stuff. You can change the track area, but because we're using the path track option, I think that doesn't apply. I wonder, can we come in here and paint this? Okay, we can, yeah. Okay, that's cool. So this is effectively just path. Can we literally... no, it still counts as the ride, but it functions like pathing. Okay, good to know. And I think that there is a track option, which, yeah, it just looks like the this road here. Which honestly, this could be kind of useful for like, we just delete the station. So we've just got the track here. Grab our old friend, the hoarding. Yeah, this actually makes like quite a nice road for areas outside of your park. Yeah, that's very cool. Okay, anyway, back on task. We're building a parade float. So we want to come in here, we want to attach scenery, add objects. Okay, we are going to need to pause it because I cannot deal with them all going on constantly. So, I thought after seeing these two rocks, I thought it might be quite fun to just try and build a Gulpy float using its two new rock pieces. Okay, this is already looking cute. And then I was thinking it would be kind of fun to try and do like a little, I don't know how doable this is going to be, to do a kind of Gulpy, a volcano, because that's slightly prehistoric. Something like this kind of works as a basic start. And then grab one of the kind of, where are they? These like skirt pieces, yeah. Something like that. Just so that we've got a kind of an idea of where the floor is. This is looking pretty ropey. I think you can kind of see what I'm going for. This is the point in the process where you really need to believe in your vision. Because otherwise you're going to psych yourself out with how terrible it looks. We just want to make sure we've got a nice mix of big rocks and small rocks, and, you know, we actually want the volcano to be more of a brown colour, I think. This sort of vibe. And then we want these bits in the top here to be like comically orange, basically. Like this, yeah. This is already looking more like the kind of thing I wanted. Okay, yeah, that already looks way more like what I wanted it to. And then I think we want to get some of this kind of foliage maybe. Does that look bad? Does that look bad? I think that might look bad. It's okay, because we can use this one as well. It kind of looks like a mini palm tree. Yeah, maybe this one is better, although this one's also very large. I guess we can kind of bury it in the side a bit though, right? Like it doesn't need to be. My fear is just that that looks way too large. What about like that would work if it was considerably smaller? Oh, that one's kind of cool. Maybe this one. We can kind of get away with having stuff sticking into the floor because we're covering the lowest point with the skirt here. Yeah, I think that's the best looking one so far. So we have another one around the back here like that. And then maybe just some kind of very low level bushies here, just to kind of pad or fill out some of these little gaps here. Okay, and then we're going to grab some of these these new Viking bone pieces. I wonder if we can make like a... what I was imagining was just the classic kind of cartoon bone shape, which we don't really have. Maybe we get away with something like this at a distance. I don't know about that. I mean, it's fine for the purposes of what we're doing here. Let's join these together. We have another one of these around here, and obviously we can use the big. Some interesting implications here for, you know, the kind of dinosaur skull with Gulpy. Could be his ancestors. Yeah, I mean, the main thing I wanted to test here was how doable the kind of prehistoric theme would be using these pieces, and I'm pleased to say, with fairly minimal effort, got a pretty fun, passable prehistoric thing going on here. Maybe we put the tail around the back here. And then I feel like it would be quite fun to have something like this going off like that. Yeah, this is fun. Okay, we do need to just pause it again because the non-stop gulping is kind of intense. And then it would be good, I think, to kind of just have one of these under here, just to hide this. Do something like that, I think. I think I technically could have done this with just the long, thin one, but I think this is fine, it's fun. Okay. And then we could even grab some of these new, like, glowing crab pieces. Because I'm just thinking that, like, it's set to night only. Does 6 PM not count as night? I mean, then that does look quite cool, doesn't it? The only thing is, it's making me think that it should be, like, brighter at the top there. Sadly, these rock pieces don't light up, but that's okay. And we can kind of create some little pools of lava down here as well. Yeah, I mean, that looks super cool. Cool, okay, and then how does that now look during the daytime? These little blobs do look a bit funny. I think it's worth it. And then I think it would be fun just to do like, something like that. I think it looks kind of cool. I like the idea of this bone. I know somewhere in this Viking set there's like a kind of wonky little pillar. Where is it? Come on. Maybe it's not Viking? Sort by wood. Yeah, it might be resort actually. We filter by resort now. Yeah, this is the one I'm thinking of. Like that. Kind of cool. We can grab the old rope just to kind of help sell this a little bit more. It's kind of fun having it like pillars coming out of the skull's eyes. Okay. Nice sets. Yeah, there's no camera for this, which is fine. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I threw this together reasonably quickly. I mainly just wanted to see how doable this would be to do this kind of prehistoric gulpy thing. Okay, I didn't think that so that's something to keep in mind with these new kind of illuminated parade pieces, is that they're all going to be default set to night only. So if you're using them for things that aren't meant to be illuminated, then obviously you do need to remember to kind of turn them off. Okay, there we go. So it does feel like maybe we need some lights. That is better. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. Oh. This piece was not attached. Nice. Okay, I think we can say with some certainty that this is awesome. Okay, and then we've got new coaster types. We've got the narrow dive coaster. First thing I wanted to check was to see if we could change the amount of trains or the amount of rows in the train, but it doesn't look like we can do that. Yeah, possibly I'm thinking of the no track limits mod that might introduce that functionality. Anyway, I think we all know. We grab the old posters. Let's put mirroring on just to make this slightly easier. And then toy box. Obviously this is very quick and dirty. I think this angle should be slightly steeper also. Maybe a 0 would work better? No, because the 0's got that in it. What about like a closed bracket? Okay, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm aware that Oblivion does not have 3 rows, and in fact I think it has rows of 8, but I just wanted to try this. I thought it would be funny. The track's not really black on Oblivion, is it? It's more like kind of grey. Yeah, I mean, that's very fun. I'm not going to build a coaster layout. You can go and watch any number of other way more talented creators than me for that. And then here we've got the single rail. Again, this one looks pretty cool, I think. I like the look of the train. What I will do here is just very quickly show what I think is a really nice looking catwalk and netting system on this coaster. Like, God, I wish we had this as just a fence piece in the game. That would be so nice. But yeah, as usual, lovingly crafted by Frontier. Shout outs to them. That's beautiful stuff. Okay, and then next up we've got some flat rides. We've got the jumping disc, and I have to say, the moment that I saw this, I was thinking, that looks to me like a roulette wheel. Unfortunately, it looks like we don't have any control over this kind of triangular pattern around the outside here. We can only control the pattern on the frame itself, which is a shame. Yeah, when I saw this, I thought that kind of looks like a roulette wheel, and that'd be kind of a fun theme for Silver Sands. Kind of fun for Silver Sands, and makes total sense with the, you know, the shape of the ride here. Maybe what I'm thinking of is the little joystick piece here. I don't know how safe this would be in real life to have this giant, like, this giant health and safety risk just in the middle of the ride area here. Because I believe these are meant to be a bit like, the way that these work is it's like centrifugal force, it sort of pushes you into the edge, but theoretically, you're not strapped in or anything, and you can sort of get up and run around this area in the middle. So this would be extremely unsafe, but I think it looks fun. Yeah, this is great. It's perfect for, this is going to be perfect in Silver Sands. God, I hope this looks good. It's so annoying when you spend time doing something like this, and then it just looks bad. So, okay, that's pretty cool. I'm enjoying the look of that. And then last, but certainly not least, we've got the Little Dipper. Yeah, this pad is slightly on the large side, but better than many other examples in the game. And then this one is just really nice and small. Very pleased with that. Yeah, obviously, I mean, the first thing I thought of here, you may have seen in my scenery video that there is this little kind of like frog leggy. Let's just test that and make sure that that's worked properly. Yeah, there we go. These could probably be a bit smaller. Something more like that. What is the ideal eye shape here? Guess I could do something like this. Looks a bit creepy. Maybe they're too big. Like this kind of vibe. There's a smile. It just instantly makes anything funny. And then we want to copy that across to this. Yeah, I mean, what can you say really? I'll definitely be putting, if not this, then something very similar to this into Jardin Magique. And obviously, you know, you could put the ride name up on the top here, or you could expand this dressing up in numerous ways. I think that's super fun. Okay, I think that basically covers all the new major additions coming with the DLC. You know, first impressions, obviously I've only put a couple of hours into all this stuff. Haven't built a coaster yet. This parade car did not take me that long to put together, and it is definitely sparking joy, I have to say. I think you could put together a whole parade, like, relatively quickly. That would be pretty fun. So yeah, I think it's cool. As I sort of talked about in my preview video last week, the main sticking point for a lot of people here will be the price. As you can see, you know, there's about 500 new scenery pieces, 2 coasters, 2 flats, and then this pretty in-depth parade system, which I think is really fun. And obviously I haven't shown it off here in an actual like main street where people will come and watch and everything. Let's see if we can't get people to come over here. So when you start the parade, everybody kind of like sprints to the edge of the path here, waving their little flags. Yeah, I mean, come on, this is super fun. And of course, you can imagine if this was a whole built up like main street area and stuff, and there were more floats, it would look even cooler, even better. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's a really cool DLC, and I do personally think it's worth the money. And yeah, I can't wait to see what other people are going to do with this stuff. I just think it's awesome. So yeah, as usual, thanks very much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will be back again in the next couple of days with a new episode of Steve Town. Until then, I'll catch you next time. Bye!